Hey, what's up, Roxstars? It's Rox with a little bit of talk about what's at the top of the blog, so let's get to it. Alright, you guys, so let's get through some of our serious topics before we get to the bullshit. Y'all know I'm not no let me get my words together. I am not a politics person. I don't really try to stay too deep up in the damn politics. Really, the reason why I know most of this shit is because my husband always got fucking CNN on. That's all he watches. I was like, you have turned into an old person. So we've got to talk about the shit that's going on in Iraq, or should I say pending things that's going on in Iraq. You know, we've had such a bad history with Iraq these last 10 years or so that anytime you hear anything about, you know, troops getting sent over there, it leaves a bad taste in your mouth. As far as my mind goes anyway, no one really understood why we were over there fighting to begin with. They tried to link Iraq up with the 9/11 attacks, and I don't know if that was 100% proven. Amongst other things, like I said, I ain't really into politics all like that, but you know, I do know that when I hear about people going back over to Iraq, it's concerning. President Obama has decided to send up to 300 special, I think they said special force troops over to Iraq to assess the situation. Evidently, some militant Islamic extremists or something like that have been threatening to attack over there. It's gotten to the point where even the Iraqi soldiers have left their post. There's nobody there really to defend the people, and most especially the American embassy. So that's what they're telling us, that they're going over there to make sure that the American embassy is protected, and like I said, to assess the situation. Now, you know, everyone is concerned about these airstrikes, and really I think that's probably why they are going over there, just to scope out the situation, just in case. They keep on wanting to reiterate that it's just you know, just to see what's going on. They don't, you know, it's not ground troops, and you know, they're not going over there to fight, because ultimately the Iraqi problem is the Iraqi problem, and it's something that they need to settle on their own. However, the U.S. has decided to step in and help them out. So that's the gist of what I got from it. I'm sure it's way more. I was reading up on it just a little while ago before I came to do my video, and it's some about the Kurds and these people over here trying to take this from, you know, there's always some shit. I know many of you guys are my politic. I know many of you guys are my politic people. I know many of you guys are my politics people. You guys can get down there in the well, I can't get these words out. And you guys can get down there in the comments, explain, and do whatever else it makes you feel good. Okay, because I'm just trying to give you the glossed over part. Somebody on my Instagram requested that I talk about that. So yeah, that's what's going on. You guys, let me know what you think. Do you believe that it is a concern that we are putting our people back in danger by sending them over to Iraq? And we do have to make sure that our people, wherever they are, need to be protected. And if the American embassy is in trouble, obviously, then something needs to be done to make sure that they're safe. However, you know, you just never really know with the government. You know, I do love my President Obama, but you know, he's a politician. So there's always a whole bunch more to the story that we're not getting. And you know, they rely on the ignorance of the average American person who just does not know all of the ins and outs of the politics and the story and all of that. So, and I am including myself as that ignorant average American. Okay, y'all get on down there in the comments and let me know what else I left out, where I was wrong, and you know, correct it, get it all together down there for me. Thanks. See what else is my serious story. Okay, Dr. Umar Johnson, he is an activist, he is an author, he is a teacher, he is you know, very big on Pan-African studies, and you know, just the whole advancement of black people and black men in particular. He has taken on a task where he wants to open an all-boys, all African-American boys school. Looks like Dr. Umar Johnson has bought St. Paul's College, which was an HBCU in Virginia. I think they said Lawrenceville, Virginia, and his plan is to turn it into this school that I was just telling you about. He needs to raise $5 million. Ugh. I got the air blowing, and it's blowing my damn little hairs, and it's catching on my eyelashes and shit. I'm sorry. He needs to raise $5 million by August 21st, and if he can do that, then his plan is to turn it into this school. So let me see. The name of the school will be the Frederick Douglass and Marcus Garvey RBG International Leadership Academy for Black Boys. Okay. Y'all know we as black people, we got to do it big. We always got to have 17 words in the names. But anyway, his whole plan around the school is to have the curriculum concentrate on entrepreneurialism and self-employment. Just basically trying to work with African American men in particular to turn out the next generation of a better African American man. He says that the school systems today are geared towards he believes that it's geared at keeping the black person at a disadvantage, okay, and men in particular, with the whole statistics of the more men in jail than in college and all this. So this is his approach, and this is his idea to try to help the African American male community. I think it's a great thing, and I think that is, and hopefully it's something that he's able to pull off. There's a link actually somewhere online. Y'all just go find it, but if you want to donate to it, he is taking donations, and they have a link put up. So anyway, I didn't even really know much about this. I had heard a little bit about it, but I didn't know much, and I just read about it this morning, and like I said, I think that it is a great thing. It's nothing ever bad about trying to get African American education expanded, and more power to him. I hope that he's successful in his endeavors. Let's get on with the regular bullshit. So I have to talk about this Aaliyah movie and the fact that they just recently cast the Zendaya Coleman girl as the lead, as Aaliyah. I'm gonna just tell you right off the top that I don't really care. Okay, people are so upset about it, mostly because the girl, I believe, is Latina, and everyone is just feeling like there were plenty of black girls around that could have taken the spot. More of the same. I mean, we've had this kind of thing happen a lot of times, just with the what's the girl's name that was playing Zora Neale? What was her name? The skinny little light, not, God, what is, y'all, I can't think of the child's name. Y'all know who I'm talking about. She was in, she was just recently in, no, what was she? I can't think of her. Oh my God, it's gonna drive me crazy. Anyway, everybody was upset about this light-skinned, tall, thin girl. Y'all know I'm talking about she's Puerto Rican. Oh, I'm sorry, y'all. I hate when I can't think of the names. Anyway, I'll put it on the screen. People was upset about her playing Zora Neale. People were also upset about Lil Mama playing Left Eye. Even though I thought Lil Mama was going to be good in the role, and she did prove herself. People were upset. Folks are always upset about whoever they cast. Yeah, I feel like they probably should have cast somebody black. No, the girl on 106 and Park was really trying to get that part amongst other people, but a lot of the people that they was trying to say could have took the part, to me, was not a good match. Like, they had the Tayana, what's the child name? Tayana Taylor, the girl that was that's popular for, I don't know why she sings, but we ain't got an album out of her yet. She, to me, would not have been a good Aaliyah because she's too dark. She dances and everything, and she has a cute little shape, but I didn't see her as Aaliyah. And then they also said Keke Palmer, which is just like, no. She's darker as well, and no, she's just, no. I don't really know who else I might have thought could have played the part. I just don't really care, you guys. I mean, I was an Aaliyah fan. I like the girl and everything, but that child will be fine. They're gonna put some makeup on her, and she gonna act, and after a while you're gonna forget that she's even Latina, okay? I mean, there ain't even no reason for us to be getting all bent out of shape like this. I mean, just let the girl do it and let's see how she does, okay? We'll just side-eye him a little bit for not putting a black person in there, but yeah, it's way more things for me to worry about in this world other than who the fuck is playing Aaliyah in a damn movie. Now, the movie might not even see the light of day. I mean, Aaliyah's family is really working hard trying to shut down the movie, mostly because they were not, well, actually all because they were not involved in, you know, the creation of the movie. They have already said that they're not going to let any of her music be played in the movie. So they've shut it down. And you guys know recently, Jimi Hendrix, the Jimi Hendrix movie that Andre 3000 is working on, the family did the same there and did not allow any of the music. None of the music is used in the movie. I don't really know how that's going to work out. I mean, obviously they were able to work it out with because Andre 3000 still did shoot the movie, although now the movie is still being pushed back. So this movie might find itself facing the same troubles. If you have a movie about a person who's a singer, it's going to be real difficult to have it be that interesting, you know, without the music. Now, Aaliyah has had a very colorful life without the music, and I believe that's another reason why the family is trying to keep it away from the screen, because of all that shit with R. Kelly. We've always thought of Aaliyah as this whole princess, cookie cutter, pristine, innocent, just soft-spoken and sexy, but never out of line, and they have really protected her image. If we got a movie that's coming out, well, we gotta address the elephant in the fucking room, okay? Everybody knows that she snuck off and married R. Kelly, but we don't know the particulars about it. And then the fact that R. Kelly got into trouble with the teenage girls, and you guys, there's a reporter somewhere in Chicago who's just written this whole long expose on R. Kelly and all the girls that he's actually slept with and been known to be with in high school, and you know, he was definitely a predator. If we get to hearing the story between R. Kelly and Aaliyah and really finding out the dirt behind that, then you know, that is going to definitely smear her reputation and her legacy. So the family is trying to keep that shit off because they weren't involved, and I don't know if I don't blame them. You know, if my family, you know, some shit was gonna come out about, you know, for instance, my mom, and I wasn't really involved, and you know, it was just about to be put out for everybody to see. I think I would try to stop that shit as well. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, as far as the Zendaya girl, Zendaya, whatever her name is, I guess she's a Disney star or a Nickelodeon star or whatever. I don't even care. Okay, I just don't. Maybe I should, but I don't. I just don't. Okay, but y'all let me know. I know you guys are very upset about it. People have been talking about it all on the internet. So y'all let me know down in the comments, you know, if you disagree, who you believe should have taken the role, who you think would have been, you know, good as Aaliyah. But as of now, the shit might not even hit the screen, so it might be a whole bunch of talk for nothing, okay? So yeah, we'll see. This Jeremy Meeks mugshot. Yesterday on my timeline, I saw his picture no less than 10 times. Everybody was all up in arms about this Mr. Jeremy Meeks. So, if you don't know who Jeremy Meeks is, he is the 30-year-old convicted felon down in Stockton, California, who was swept up in a gang sweep and was charged with a bunch of gun charges and gang charges, and they said, quote, that he is the most violent criminal in Stockton, California. The Stockton Police Department put his mugshot up on their Facebook page. I guess they do it on all of their you know, people that they convict, or maybe because he was a most wanted in the community. They put his picture up on the Facebook page, and the man is fine. Okay, he is obviously missed his fucking calling. He up here fucking around with gangs and shit out there in California when his ass could have been a very successful model, because he actually looks like the actor that was on Grey's Anatomy. I wasn't watching, so I don't know his name, but I remember seeing this guy on there enough to say that this boy looked like he could be a close relative. You know, he's a black guy, very fair skin, but obviously black, and has like baby blue eyes, okay? Just like the perfect bone structure. I mean, could have been fucking killing the runway Okay, he has decided, to do this life of crime. So, I mean, what? He's a violent criminal and he's good looking. I mean, it ain't really no more to it than that. People was going all crazy and saying they would bail him out and shit. Okay, well, his bail is set at $900,000. If you got $90,000 sitting around somewhere, then you're welcome to go get him out. We just can't forget that the nigga is a fucking felon. All right, and yeah, I can look and smile at him all day long on the website, but I'm not really trying to have his motherfucking ass around me, because Roxanne don't do gangs and all that. I told you that I had drug dealer girlfriend tendencies. I've always had that about myself. However, I ain't fucking around with no drug dealers. I did it, well, to say I dated this one sort of for a little bit of time, and yeah, that was too much stress for me. Okay, this was back a long time. Anyway, we can't forget about what the real story is. The nigga is a violent criminal, but there's, I'm sure, plenty of very good looking people in jail. Jail don't discriminate. Everybody ain't just beat down and busted in jail. That's just the life that he's chosen. So, but yeah, he definitely could have made something of himself doing something other than what he's doing, because I think they said he's like 6'1" and he's 170 pounds. I mean, you could just picture in your mind, that's just a whole bunch of goodness right there. But yeah, I can't get too excited about the fact that he is a violent criminal. But yeah, he was definitely a looker. I was like, boy, it's a shame, though. Just a waste of space and opportunity and goodness. Y'all tell me what y'all thought about Mr. Jeremy. I know y'all was looking at this picture, but try to act like y'all didn't. This On the Run tour, which is about to start in the next couple of weeks, I believe. There's rumors saying that the tour is struggling and that the ticket sales are not moving the way that they expected them to. I'm not really sure what to believe in this. I mean, you can kind of look at it a whole bunch of different ways, and let me just lay the ways to you real fast. First off, this concert that they're trying to do, this tour, it's just what I think they said, 19 city? Just 19 cities, I believe, that they're doing. So it's not this great big massive tour that people of this stature normally would do. But in those 19 cities, they're trying to sell out stadiums. These are not just your regular basketball, arenas. We talking about football size stadiums, which hold a lot of people. Okay, so even though they may have been selling a lot of tickets already, when you're talking about selling this many seats, then it starts to look like maybe they're not moving as fast. It's just a lot of seats that are trying to be sold. I went on personally Ticketmaster out here in Atlanta. I know for a fact that Atlanta is not sold out. I think they said some of the smaller cities are sold out, but the larger cities, the metropolis cities like Atlanta, I believe they said Chicago, Miami, I believe Los Angeles was sold out, but there's some places that haven't sold out, and Atlanta obviously is one of them. They have a lot of seats left, and the seats start roughly around $125, and I'm sure that's for the nosebleed sections, and they can go all the way up to some thousands of dollars. You guys know how they do. Definitely there's seats available. $125 is, I mean, I would say for the two of these people, that I don't really think that that's that much. But when you start talking about $125 for two people, and this is in the nosebleed sections, I mean, $300 for a household. I don't know. I don't really know if people are really willing to invest the money in seeing them. Now, it might be a few reasons why not. One, they both came off of a tour recently. Beyonce definitely very recently, with the Miss Carter World Tour that she was on. So people just saw her and spent their money on those tickets, and was spending quite a bit of money on those tickets. And then for them to turn around and then say that they're going to be on tour together in a couple of months, I mean, it's just like, well, I ain't buying tickets yet. I just saw her. So the timing might be a problem there. I know Jay-Z was here in Atlanta like at the end of last year, sometime around October or November, so it wasn't as close, but it still was it was fairly close. Neither of them really have any Jay-Z definitely doesn't have any new music out since his last tour, and Beyonce has her album, obviously, but they haven't released anything really from that CD other than Partition. I am so fucking sick of Drunk and Loving Partition. Like, You know, now that's the songs on that album, granted, are not really radio play material. I didn't think Partition was the one to release myself. I just didn't think that that was the one to put out. When I hear it, I immediately change. I just don't want to hear it no more. And they haven't released anything else, so it's just like there's no hype and no excitement behind going to see them, you know, with just the songs that we all think of right now. Did that make sense? Felt like I was rambling. I did have a little coffee this morning, y'all. I had to get some. So, you know, people are saying that the ticket sales might be one of the problems. Another problem is we have a difference in fans here, okay? So we have Beyonce, which has a whole bunch of gay men fans, and then we have Jay-Z, who has a whole bunch of gangsta hustler fans. So we're going to have all them in the stadium? Like, what is that going to be like? You know, the people that want to see Beyonce might not necessarily want to see Jay-Z. The people who want to see Jay-Z might not necessarily want to see Beyonce. Although I believe that it would be a good little mix because I like both of their musics. I don't really know all of Jay-Z's catalog. I only really know the songs that were popular that was put on the radio. I don't really know, but I know almost all of Beyonce's music. So, but I mean, like I said, I would be willing to see Jay-Z, but I think that's another one of the issues that they might be facing. And another question I have is, who is going to open? Who is going to close? Okay, are we going by who's the bigger name? I believe it's Beyonce. Is Beyonce going to go after her husband? If Jay-Z goes after Beyonce, are people going to be leaving early? Are they going to put their sets intertwine each other because they have so many songs together? Are they going to mix their stuff up? Like, I mean, really, how is this going to go, and how is it going to look to the person that's watching everything? So now we got a little bit of a power struggle. That might not be nothing. That's just some shit that I got a question about. You know, I wouldn't want to go last. I don't give a fuck if it is my husband or wife, you know. But then again, I wouldn't want to go first. Like, I don't really know how I would want that to go. So that's another question that I have. And then, of course, we can't forget about Elevator Gate. The whole incident between Solange and Jay-Z and Beyonce looking on did not help as well. Now, it's helped Solange. Her music sales have gone up, they said. But as far as the tour is concerned, they believe that people are either turned off by the fact that, you know, they got into that fight in the elevator, or just on Beyonce and Jay-Z overload. It might be time for everybody to just go sit the fuck down somewhere. Let Beyonce have another baby. You know how she like to go on these 2 and 3 year sabbaticals and find herself and go sit in the park somewhere and, you know, swim, jump off of cliffs and whatever the fuck she got to do for herself. Yeah, it might be time to do that. I think that this year for them has definitely been a whole lot. Maybe after this tour, maybe they'll disappear for a little while. I have clearly had enough of Beyonce and Jay-Z. I have. And that's why I really avoid trying to talk about them a lot, because I don't even feel like reading the comments. I don't even want to hear it. So, but we'll listen to it today because that's what we're talking about today. But that's why I haven't really talked about them that much in the past. It's just over it, just done, it's through, I'm finished, and, whatever. So, y'all let me know if you're going on the tour. If you guys are going to see the concert, y'all let me know what cities you're in and everything, and what you think might be the issue, if there even is one. I mean, Jay-Z and Beyonce always seem to pull it out in the end, and this might just be another one of those things where it's just a bunch of hype. But yeah, let me know what you think. Alright, this happened earlier in the week, and now I feel like it's old news, but I'll talk about it. T.I. versus Azealia Banks. You guys already know what happened. Iggy, Azealia, and T.I. did a song called Mediocre, and Azealia Banks, who has, historically had an issue with Iggy Azalea in the past, and T.I. in the past, came out and said some shit about Tiny, saying, you talk about, not being with a mediocre bitch, but have you seen your wife? And she goes on to call Tiny like a meth face or meth mouth, and she Miss Piggy and all of this shit. And of course T.I. came back and just ripped her a whole new asshole, called her a maggot face bitch. Don't ever come for his family. If she ever does again, he'll end her. People fall downstairs all the time. He just really went off on her. It's just crazy. So I'll tell you what I feel about both. First of all, Azealia Banks I don't know what is wrong with that girl. She was a talented person, but could never get her shit together because she is just crazy. She has a beef. She starts beefs with a whole bunch of people, and just comes off as looking like this old crazy demented, just always trying to pick something with somebody, but doesn't really have anything to show for it on her own. She's just so irrelevant, and she just says these things. I just don't really understand Azealia Banks, and I think most people feel that way about her. So for T.I. to come back at her now, granted, I understand the girl came after Tiny, and I am so tired of people coming after Tiny. Like, we all know what Tiny looks like. People have said whatever they're gonna say about the girl. I mean, enough is enough, okay? Tiny is not gonna, the way she looks is not gonna change, okay? That's who T.I. decided to marry. And you know what? I mean, why we got to just keep on harping about that shit, okay? So the Tiny talk is old, okay? Old news. And like I said, the girl came after this man's wife. So definitely he should have been able to defend his wife and say whatever the fuck he wanted to say back to her. To me, it wasn't really necessary because, like I said, nobody really cares about Azealia Banks anyway. Not only that, but T.I. has had legal problems in the past. He don't need this type of, look at himself, especially for him to threaten the girl and say people fall downstairs all the time and I will end you and shit like that. Just never really the smartest thing to say. I want T.I. to get off the internet. I want him to get off of social media. Him and Tiny. Actually, the whole family, because the mama was even on the internet the other day asking Tiny to, talk to T.I. and make sure that they keep their family together and all of that. I just want everybody to get off the internet. We got way too much information for them, and I know that people will drag you in and draw you in. Folks say some of the most craziest shit on the internet that I see, and when you read it, it's your first inclination is to come back at them. But when you get to a certain level in your celebrity, you really need to get your motherfucking ass off the internet. And especially these two with their marital problems and everything, I just think they need to get off. They need to get off. I almost feel like T.I. is about to have some sort of meltdown. I always felt like he was controlling. I think we've all seen that, and heard that. Even Tiny has said it herself. And I just feel like maybe with the issues that he and Tiny have had recently, and the fact that, she's kind of in this mode where I'm just going to do me now and I'm going to live my life, and he don't really have the control over her like he used to. I think it's just putting him crazy somewhere. Do I think that their relationship is over? I don't really think so, because if you was really over with each other, you wouldn't be going back and forth like this. You would just be like, fuck it, I'm through. And because when you through, you real through. Okay, it don't be taking all of this. So when people still tend to be dealing with each other and getting highly emotional and upset about each other, that usually means because there's still something there, and maybe they're gonna work through it. I hope that it don't get to the point where T.I. just do some real crazy shit because he just kind of out of sorts and don't really know what to do no more. But yeah, that's it with Azealia Banks and T.I. I just wish Azealia Banks would go somewhere. Either come on out with a fucking album and some music, or shut the fuck up, okay? Because otherwise you don't really have a ground. You don't have nothing to stand on, okay? Prove yourself. If you don't have a problem, if you have a problem with Iggy's music, then put your shit out and get some radio play so that we all know it's real. Next story, Angie Martinez. So I guess this is super big news in New York, okay? Angie Martinez, who has been a DJ on Hot 97 for somewhere around 20 years and is definitely a staple within that, that whatever this is here, that radio station. She kind of out of the blue the other day quit, resigned from her job, and she put out the perfunctory statement that said that she was happy that she had been with them, and it was bittersweet to leave, but it's time to move on to new endeavors and things like that. And right after she tweeted that, then Power 105 retweeted it, and they just put a little happy face. So that immediately made people think that maybe she was going to Power 105, which is a rival of Hot 97 and has been for years. And sure enough, the very next day, Clear Channel announced that she is signed on over at Power 105 as the drive time DJ between 2 and 6. So that's that's a really busy time. If you're not in the in the morning, then that 2 to 6 is also a coveted time on radio airplay, I believe. Angie Martinez moving over. I mean, it don't affect my life in any kind of way, but evidently, people all up in New York is all thinking like, wow, this is something big now. There's been a beef going on between DJ Envy and Funkmaster Flex. DJ Envy had put on Instagram a light switch, and it just said lights out. And I guess Funkmaster Flex, is that his name? Am I saying his name right? That don't sound right. Yeah, Funkmaster Flex got upset and was just like, oh, you trying to say lights out, just because Angie's gone don't mean that, he had to come back at it, even though DJ Envy didn't really say anything per se about Hot 97 or Funkmaster Flex. So them two started going back and forth between each other. Funkmaster Flex posts, I can't get my words together. He posts a letter that showed that DJ Envy has sent a cease and desist letter over to Hot 97 because Flex had been talking about him and his wife. But of course, Flex tried to make it seem like he was calling the police and snitching and trying to get them involved over this beef and shit. It was just a whole bunch, just stupid. Y'all know how y'all niggas do, I promise you. So I guess Hot 97 and Power 105 are gonna always have this beef back and forth with each other. In the meantime, Angie was like, fuck all that and moved the fuck on. So congratulations to Angie Martinez. I like Angie Martinez. I was really kind of disappointed to see them on that reality show that they had. I thought it was terrible, and some people are even saying that might have been the nail in the casket, them making her get on that show, because it was obvious that the show was 100% scripted, so fake and phony. And to have to do that, I don't know, she just never kind of struck me as a person that would sell themselves out like that and be on some shit that was just no. So congratulations to Angie Martinez. Congratulations to Power 105. We'll see what happens with what is it? Hot 97. Is that the show that's with so was that the show that was with Charlamagne the God and y'all, there's so many people up there. I don't know. I don't listen to none of them because they don't play them in Atlanta, and so I don't know. But yeah, y'all tell me, what is that, who she used to work with and who she going to work with, and who you guys think is going to take her place? Whoever does obviously is going to be stepping into some big shoes, and they going to really have to prove themselves, so they're going to have to get a big name in there. But yeah, like I said, congratulations to Angie Martinez, moving on to bigger and better things, obviously. Braxton Family Value trailer. Somebody asked me, have I seen it? Yeah, I did see it. You guys know that I stopped watching Braxton Family Values, which is really the show that kind of put me on YouTube. I mean, I think a lot of people who started to follow me was following me back when I was doing my Braxton Family Values reviews. I really used to like the show, but right around when they had that 2.5 season or whatever the fuck it was, I was just like, you know what, I am through. Ever since then, I have sporadically watched it. I don't think I watched it at all last season. I am just so over Braxton Family Values. This season promises to be the most dramatic, the most drama-filled, the most fights, the most breakdowns. Supposedly Tamar is saying that she's leaving the show. Tawanda has a breakdown. They're all at a restaurant somewhere. She pushes the dishes and they go flying everywhere. And yeah, I mean, all that is gonna be good TV, but they're a family. Okay, so even if they might leave the show, they not gonna leave the family. All right, so it ain't really nothing for me to be getting my panties all in the bunch. It ain't like it's gonna be a fight or no shit. I mean, they ain't fixing to be tussling nowhere. Although I think some of us would pay to see Tamar and Tracy fight, but they're sisters. They at the end of the day, they love each other, and so it's just. To me, it's just a whole bunch of drama on the show. Tamar might be ready to leave the show because she has a lot of things going on. I mean, she has her show at Vince, and she has her music career that's taken off. She's touring and she's doing a lot of things. So it might even be time for her to leave the show. She definitely is a staple of that show. People watch because of her. So I don't even know how it would survive if she wasn't there, because Tony to me is kind of boring and she doesn't really open up. Tawanda, I like Tawanda. and Trina and Tracy, but the three of them, you know, I don't know. So if you have Tony, but in this, you know, cloaked, kind of closed off way that she always is, and if you don't definitely have Tamar, then that show is a null and a void anyway. And how long do reality shows last anyway? You know, this is what they're going to be their 5th season. 4th, 5th, somewhere in there, 5th, it might even be 6th, I don't even know, but you know, after a while it's time to move on to other things, so it just might be time for it to be that. But yeah, I won't be watching it again this season. I won't be reviewing it. I ain't doing all of that, okay? Ashley you know, reviews that show, and I'm sure some other people, probably maybe Jamila might review it, and but I'm not doing that. I did see the trailer. Y'all, did y'all see it? What y'all thought about it? Hey y'all, and I am very happy to report that the NWA movie, the biopic that we have been hearing so much about over the last few years, Ice Cube was really trying to get that thing off the ground, has finally been greenlit, and we have a release date. It will be released on August 14th of 2015. The director will be F. Gary Gray, and the producers will be both Ice Cube and Eazy-E's widow. I think her name is Tamika. I think it's Tamika Wright. Something else. It's hyphenated. I think she got remarried or whatever. Then the executive producer will be Will Packer. So some big names definitely behind this. I'm glad. I think that it's going to be done right. It's going to be on the big screen, and you got people that definitely, that was in the life. I mean, these people, Ice Cube, I don't really know too much about Tamika, but Ice Cube and Dr. Dre and all of them all involved. Yeah, I got a lot of faith in this project, and I'm really looking forward to it. I used to love NWA, you guys, back in 1988 when I graduated from high school. That shit stayed in constant play on my tape recorder, because that's when we had tape cassettes. Some of y'all might not even know what a fucking tape cassette is, but I played that shit all the time. Straight Outta Compton was just like, for real, the jam, the whole thing. And so I'm looking forward to seeing it, definitely. They just recently released the pictures of the cast, and we have playing Ice Cube is actually Ice Cube's son, who looks exactly like Ice Cube. His name is O'Shea Jr. So, and he'll be playing Ice Cube. That's the rapper that's, I think he goes by Doughboy now. And then we've got this kid, Jason Mitchell, who's going to play Eazy-E, I believe, and Corey Hawkins, who's going to play Dr. Dre. They were saying that, damn thing is about to run out. I'm sorry, y'all. The battery always running low. Eazy-E's son was really trying to get the part, and I think it just got to the point where Eazy-E's son got to be too old. He looks like Eazy-E, and I think he might even sound like Eazy-E, but you know, now he's got too old, because this is the height of the time when they were in NWA and Straight Outta Compton. So I believe they need to be like teenage or look somewhere around that point. And I think Eazy-E's son is probably older than that now. So he didn't get the position. He didn't get the part. Not the position. It's not a job. It's a role. So I guess that might be a little bit of a bummer for the Wright family. But other than that, yeah, the movie is definitely getting off the ground, and good for them. I have nothing but high hopes and cannot wait for that shit to come out. I will definitely be there to see it. Will you? Alright, you guys, and lastly, the 3rd annual Female Hip Hop Honor Awards in San Pedro, California. You don't know what San Pedro, California is, do you? Okay, well, that ought to give you the first on what the fuck is fixing to happen at this damn award ceremony. Don't nobody give a fuck about San Pedro. Don't shit go down in San Pedro, okay? It's a nice enough city and shit, but it ain't even nowhere near close to Hollywood. I mean, I guess it's baby steps. Shit gotta start somewhere. We know that the female rappers are not honored and not given the shine that they should be, you know, historically anyway. So I mean, you know, I'm not gonna put it down too much, but you know, I'm just gonna say I'm gonna give a fuck about these damn award ceremony. But let me just kind of let you know what's supposed to be happening. So supposedly they're gonna be honoring Oaktown 357, Charlie Baltimore, and the Brat. Now I ain't even gonna lie, Now, we all loved us some Oaktown 357 when MC Hammer was in his height, and when Oaktown 357 came out, and them bitches used to have their damn knee pads and their biker shorts, and them bitches would be on their head doing handstands and, you know, what we now call twerking, but, you know, just like doing all that. Yeah, we all tried to do what Oaktown 357 used to do, but I could give one fuck about Oaktown 357 today, and I hope them old bitches don't get up on that stage with no foolishness, okay? And definitely the Brat. I always liked the Brat back in the day. Actually, to me, the Brat should be being honored on a way higher scale. I mean, like, really, BET should have been doing some shit for her, because she at one time was the female rapper. And then Charlie Baltimore, I mean, I guess maybe up north in New York somewhere, maybe she was a real big thing when Biggie was around and all that, but you know, I couldn't tell you one thing Charlie Baltimore is saying. I mean, was she a singer? Is she a rapper? Like, what is it? I just know what she looks like. Real light-skinned girl that used to have like the Kool-Aid hair colors, but other than that, I don't know nothing about no damn Charlie Baltimore. We'll see. Like I said, it's baby steps, and maybe the shit will eventually grow to become something else. But at this moment right now, ain't nobody give a fuck about none of them people. Many of you Jocelyn Hernandez fans will be happy to know that she will be performing there. Okay, so she put it on her Instagram page that she's going to be one of the talents, okay, part of the entertainment for the award ceremony. So you guys let me know if you know anything about this award ceremony. Maybe it's something that's a little bit more hyped in California. It's somewhere out there, San Pedro, Long Beach, Carson. Y'all let me know if you guys have ever heard about any of that shit down there. That is truly it, y'all. We do this every week. Okay, so remember to rate, comment, and subscribe. And remember to come back. Until next time, Roxstars. Bye.